method of business would persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades. While the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux, to this day the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can hit the street lights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice. We never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never cared for compromise. Always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
All right, welcome to another edition of This Week in Pro Wrestling, hosted by your favorite co-host and host, Monty and Nefaro. Jimmy.
Hello.
Our 5th show of This Week in Pro Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
How do you like the way it's going right now?
What do you want me to do? Quote Dave Mustaine, so far, so good, so what?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Are
So
you
far, so
enjoying
good.
it? Like,
So
just
what?
pure wrestling talk, no banter. Let's
It
just talk about...
it feels so pure. I feel like a wrestling purist.
Well, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Well, since you're such a wrestling purist, let's open up with the Lily Wink. So this week on Monday Night Raw, during the match between one of my favorites, Dewdrop, against Alexa Bliss, Lily...
Wow, what a matchup. Yeah.
Lily was
bone-
in the corner, and
Bone chilling.
she winked at Dewdrop, causing her to
What?
get rolled up in a small package by Alexa and lose.
Oh, she was clearly terrified by a doll winking. By any chance, how did that... Wait a minute. How did the doll wink in the first place? Was it CGI? Did they hit a remote from the back? Okay, she's wink, damn it, wink! I mean, did the
hitting a button?
Yeah! Did they
won't wink?
Did the people live actually see the doll wink? I mean, how did they
At home you do. They do a close-up, and you see the wink.
Yeah, frightening, huh?
It's like almost like you remember the movie Ted?
Yes, Ted was great.
Well,
what
so
a great
kinda like
movie.
Ted.
Yeah, but this doll's supposed to be like that trilogy of terror with Karen Black where she threw it in the stove. This is a scary doll.
Dude,
were you scared?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
Karen Black.
Again,
Yeah.
some of our audience is younger. You
That's
gotta
for sure. I'm
slow
sorry.
it down, okay?
Awesome
So-
made-for-TV horror movie back in the 70s
So what
called
Jim-
Trilogy of Terror.
Right.
Look it up.
So what Jimmy's
Yeah.
speaking about is,
Yeah.
and first of all, I didn't know it was Karen Black.
Yeah,
so
Karen
thank
Black.
You for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. When I was a child, this was on, and there's this voodoo doll from Africa.
Oh, stop. You're
right?
scaring me. Stop.
And it's got like a spear.
Yeah, well, she gets it in the mail, though.
She gets it in
Remember
the
that?
mail,
She
and it
gets
says,
it in
do
the
not
mail.
remove the chain.
Right. And she thinks that the doll is just a doll.
Right.
So she puts the doll up, but the doll's not just
But
a
how
doll.
does the chain fall? Does she take it off?
What did she do? Something silly happened. I can't remember the exact
Again,
details.
repeat it again so people could look it up on,
It's called Trilogy of Terror. It's 3 different stories. That's thus, therefore, the trilogy portion of the title of the movie. And I think it's the conclusion of the movie. It's story number 3. Oh, my God, that ending. Don't give it away.
Oh
my God, that doll was terrifying. I still can't
So if
watch
Dewdrop
without
saw
freaking
that
out.
doll,
Oh,
that would
forget
scare her
it.
for the
Dude,
roll-up.
she'd quit the company if she saw that doll.
But Lily's not scary enough.
No, Lily doesn't scare me. Lily's terrible. That's terrible.
So you're not buying
Wrestling purist into Lily? What the frick,
so
bro?
You're not buying into
Not
the Lily.
buying it.
Last week you were losing it over Lily.
Not only am I not buying it, I'm returning it. And they won't give me my money back. This is horrible. I don't want Lily. Lily sucks. You like Lily, though, don't you?
I enjoy Lily.
You're a strange
a lot.
bird, man. But okay. Maybe in 2 weeks I'll like Lily. She better do something more interesting than that crap.
By the way, the Lily doll is selling on the WWE Shop Network for $29.99.
God, someone is going.
I think I might buy that and put it on our table for.
It's just about to make fun of some person that would buy that. You're going to buy that.
I got to be honest with you. I wonder how well the Lily doll is selling.
Probably not so bad. I bet you probably not so bad in this crazy world. No? Well, are you going to look up the schematics of this?
I might have to.
Yeah, do you think that she's going to wind up? Do you think she's going to wind up doing better than like Mr. Potato Head? Oh, wait a minute! There is no Mr. Potato Head anymore.
No.
Now it's what is it? Potato Head?
Potato Head.
Yeah, dress it any fucking way you want. What the fuck?
AEW broke out a new vignette.
Yeah.
Another jail scene with the former WWE star. The last one was Pharaoh's favorite, Alistair Kick.
He is not
was
my
in jail
favorite.
in
What
an
the?
insane asylum.
Oh well, of course.
And now we got Murphy.
Right.
Releases an intense vignette teasing his next move. Former WWE superstar Buddy Murphy has released an intense promo teasing his return into in-ring action for the first time after being released from the WWE.
Teasing.
The former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, which is a joke, by the way. That guy's built like a brick shithouse. I don't even get that.
Please.
Took social media to reveal a portion of this incredible promo.
Oh, well, of course.
The clip showcases Murphy being locked inside a prison or a psychiatric hospital where he is surrounded by a couple of guards. For almost the entire clip, Murphy kept bouncing back against the wall.
Wow.
While the photographer is seen outside vouching for Murphy's release. Because Murphy's been in jail.
Hey, let him out! Click. What? Horrible.
All,
Stop.
Here's my question to you.
All right, go ahead.
What kind of jail pays you $1 million a year, first of all? I've been in jail for $1 million a year.
That's the biggest joke of all.
Life is so tough.
Yeah, woe was me. I just spent the last weekend going to the steakhouse and dropping 5 or 6 bills. Oh, man, my life is terrible. I was locked away at the WWE where millions of people saw me every week. Life sucks! Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. No, I'm serious. I mean, every time it's like, oh, I just escaped prison. No, you just wound up leaving or getting canned from the Pinnacle.
That's right.
Idiot.
That's right.
Oh, man, I'm free. This is shit.
Freedom's not so great.
This is not so great.
So now I go to AEW.
Right.
But let me ask you something.
Right. Well, that's okay.
How come I don't
That's
hear you
fine.
screaming about Buddy Murphy getting released?
What's there to scream about?
You were like all crazy. Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan.
Listen
what
to
about
the
Buddy Murphy.
Because you know what? All right, fine. I'll throw it out like this.
Go ahead.
Guys like Daniel Bryan, guys like Bray Wyatt, guys like CM Punk. I'm gonna go further. I'm gonna name a couple of guys from New Japan. Guys like Okada, guys like Tanahashi. Buddy Murphy? Are you trying to get me crazy?
You don't think,
no.
You don't think he's a talent?
Yes, in the ring, he's a talent. But, and here comes the fucking obvious, I am not engaged with him on a microphone. He doesn't do a thing for me, okay? I don't see him ever becoming any, character-wise, something so gripping that all the wrestling fans are going to run to the set. So no, I don't see this as a huge loss. Do I think he's going to deliver some awesome in-ring work for them? Absolutely.
Maybe he'll be Malachi Blue.
Malachi Black and Malachi Blue.
Malachi Red because he's a redhead.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I could see them doing. No,
Or
well,
maybe
there is a Luchasaurus running around that company, so it's possible.
If I ran AEW, what I would call him, and I'm being 100% serious.
What's that?
Bliss's Seconds.
Wow.
That would be his name.
And then we'll get him a tag team partner.
Buddy Bliss, second-hand worker.
And we can find another partner for him, and we can call them the Leftovers.
I like it.
The
dude.
Leftovers.
And
that
then,
would be like
what a tag team. The Leftovers.
They wouldn't be red hot. They'd be cold blue. But hey, what the hell? We might as well.
Dude, the Leftovers.
This is horrible.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Who would be his partner?
I'm a genius.
Who else is Bliss thrown to the trash after
I don't know. Maybe when eventually we get her on the show, we'll ask her. How's that sound? You know, I mean, Alexa's your friend.
Just call her on the phone?
How about that? She's your friend. You know, but by the way.
But wait a minute, hold on.
What?
I'm sorry. This is why you. And
Wait
me
a second,
would
Mandy Rose is your friend too.
But dude, hold on.
Some friend you are. What the hell?
This is why I would want to work with you in a promotion. Because guess what? Now, what did you call them?
The Leftovers.
I got a better name.
Better than the Leftovers?
Yes.
Wow.
Sloppy Seconds.
Sloppy Seconds. That's excellent too. Wait a minute. Maybe they could start as the Leftovers, and then they get a heel turn. They become Sloppy Seconds. Because now they're really mad about the residue that's been left on their heads. What?
Wow.
Yeah, well, Next.
All right, well, let's move on.
Well, that kicked ass. Next. What do you got?
Bray Wyatt posts cryptic tweet following WWE release. What does it mean?
Wow.
Bray Wyatt posted in Twitter 15 minutes before Monday Night Raw on Monday
nice.
kicked off
Okay.
its latest Orlando show with a message both intimidating and confusing.
Intimidating.
Check out the tweet, which was accompanied on the Bray Wyatt brand. But by the way, it still says WWE Bray Wyatt, which is kind of confusing.
Yeah, that's a little confusing. Yeah, what does that mean?
And it says, "You can't kill me."
Well, you can't. That I agree with. You can't kill Bray Wyatt. Some way or another, he'll resurface, and wherever he goes, you know how I feel about Bray Wyatt. I think he will do very well. He will be fine. I just wish that whatever the hell was going on with him behind the scenes could have been worked out, but apparently... You know what's weird? You might have had it nailed, man. I'm hearing a lot about the fact that Bray Wyatt was a really difficult employee.
What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing that there was a lot of problems, man. He would get very emotional about things. He would disappear. I mean, I was reading some weird shit. I don't know how much to believe of it, but apparently Bray wasn't smooth sailing in the back, and that's too bad. But I guess I can't be surprised if that's the case, because this guy's very creative, and unfortunately, and this is, to me is a fact, some of these geniuses, and I do believe he's a genius as far as his wrestling creativity, are really messed up. Remember how Heath Ledger was a genius,
Yes.
and he was like really, really obsessed with painting that perfection that he did with the Joker thing?
Sure.
Some folks who are wired that way are very emotional and have a lot of mental illness bouts, and of course we've heard that that's the deal with Bray. Possibly some mental illness, possibly some depression.
We discussed that last week about him not working, and you know what? If you're not making money for the company,
right.
To go, right?
At some point you have to draw a line, of course.
What is going on with today's athletes?
I don't know.
Who claim mental illness?
I don't know, but I know this much. And there definitely is something going on with this generation, this current generation of younger athletes, All I know is this. The athletes, okay, fine. For you younger folks, you want to start with, oh, here they go. But stay with me for a second. You might learn something. The older athletes from our generation, and before them, even more so, you think that they didn't go to work with, oh, my dad passed away? Or, me and my wife, we might be getting divorced, or I have a certain addiction.
Or I got caught cheating with JoJo and had 2 kids, or my wife caught me and now she took me for everything I got.
Hey, that sounds familiar. Where did that go? Oh, that's right. Well, anyway, the bottom line is that the old school, that's right, the old school athletes, they all worked through their personal problems. They did. I don't remember ever hearing Ultimate Warrior, as much of a problem he allegedly was behind the scenes, and there's some truth to that. I don't think he ever said, I'm depressed and I'm going home. I'm out of here. The only thing he ever freaking wanted was more money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hulk Hogan? If Hulk Hogan took, completely to heart all the things that have been said about him, even when he was changing wrestling, those people, he's ruining wrestling in 1984. Hulk Hogan's ruining wrestling. Yeah, they're about to get as big as the Super Bowl, but he's ruining wrestling. If Hogan was a sensitive, meltdown, current kind of athlete we see,
different time, though.
No career.
Different
no
time
Hulkamania, no nothing, no Super Bowl.
You see and hear more things, right, with Twitter and Instagram. And
you know what you got to do?
Difficult,
you know what you got to do when it comes to that, though? You got to take a page out of some books that maybe even I've read. You got to learn how to ignore that crap, because there's going to be people that are going to write crap no matter what. As you've told me 1,000 times, the more important thing is those 9 to 9.5 people out of 10 who say good things about you. That's the most important thing.
What about this, like Simone Biles, right? And the countless others, these baseball players, right? Oh, I got to take a break. I can't handle the pressure. Mm-hmm. What about people that defend our country, go to war? You don't think they have
my God, could you imagine?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't fight today. I don't feel right. I have a bout of depression right now. Please, carry on without me.
Right. I was in the foxhole yesterday. Hated it! What are we talking about
Right.
here? It's completely insane.
Doesn't
Stop.
Bray Wyatt, as a wrestler, owe it to the fans to perform because that's his job?
I would think that would be something that would motivate a professional wrestler to want to do it as much for the people watching. Because, I was in a band for many years, and I always wanted to do it as much, if not more, for the people in front of me. I'm not up there to freaking just be, it's not about myself. It's about what I'm sharing and connecting with people. And I'm getting paid for it? Are you kidding? And I enjoy it? Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Find something else to be miserable about, like something for real.
It's funny. I'm looking at
and even then, you still got to do your job, bro. It doesn't matter what job you work at. They expect you to do your job.
I'm looking at the couch there, and on Long Island's #1 pro
Oh,
wrestling
hello,
broadcast,
couch.
Monty Nefaro, seen every Thursday at 9 p.m. We had Mike Rotundo
Yes.
in studio with Ted DiBiase.
Yes,
Money
yes.
Inc.
Yes.
And Mike, all the wrestling fans know this, and if you don't know it, he is the father of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And the father
Yeah.
of Bo Dallas.
And he still should be immensely
Right.
proud regardless. Whatever's
would
going on right
Rotundo
now.
think about his son
I don't know.
doing this? Because remember, when he
I
was on the
don't
couch,
know.
he was like,
He's an awesome
they're getting
guy, by the
paid
way.
a lot of money. He was talking about
Yeah,
his sons
right.
to us. They're going
Right.
to pay a whole much more money
Sure,
than
than
we
he ever
did.
got afforded, and he was
Right.
worth every penny, man.
Do you think he's disappointed in his
I
son
don't
right
know,
now?
man. I can't say that. I would love to ask him. I'd love to talk to him when we see him again. Well, I'm sure we will. But I don't know. I don't even want to tread with that because maybe it's just that he was such a great guest. I have so much respect for him.
Right.
And you know what? He probably is disappointed, but I'm only speculating. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be too happy. I wouldn't be too happy about that. I'd be like, kiddo, you're making more than I ever did. What's wrong? What's going on?
Again, we're
You
also
know?
speculating that's the
Yeah,
reason.
that's all this is
you know.
anyway.
We're
That's everybody's doing
speculating
that. That's fine.
That Vince let him go because he wasn't working.
Right. There was something going on behind the scenes, clearly.
Last night, Chris Jericho defeated Wardlow as part of the 5 Labors of Jericho, which, by the way, to me is a great
idea.
little idea.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
Chapter 4 on AEW Dynamite, MJF was at ringside for the match, but it wasn't able to help his Pinnacle stablemate to beat Jericho. Near the end of the match, MJF tried to give Wardlow his Dynamite diamond ring, but the ref caught MJF and sent him to the back. As the referee was focused on MJF, Jericho used the baseball bat and then the Judas effect to put Wardlow down. Afterwards, MJF revealed the final task for Jericho will take place next week on Wednesday's show. It will be MJF versus Jericho, but Jericho isn't allowed to use the Judas effect in the match, and if he does, MJF automatically wins.
But here's the worst part.
Again, what's the result of that? So if MJF wins, so what?
Right.
Isn't the whole idea
Yeah,
that
what do you
Jericho
win?
gets to wrestle MJF?
What do you win? Does he even get the Dynamite Diamond ring for winning?
But my whole point is,
Wait a minute.
he wants MJF, and MJF's go, you want me, you had to get through these labors of Jericho. Well,
Right.
you're there now, so what does it really matter?
Right.
Stupid.
Right. But what about the worst part?
MJF also said Jericho can't come down to the ring with his usual Judas theme.
Now I'm mad. What do you mean he can't come? What is that all about? You can't come down with your theme song.
See, now
I don't want to hear your stupid song
now
ever
you're
again.
smart. Well, why not? Probably Fozzie's got a new song. So
Are you
know.
serious?
Of course.
That's
come on.
so lame, Chris Jericho. You know what's
course.
even more lame, though? And I hate doing this. We got back-to-back weeks where I'm going after one of my favorite wrestlers. The Judas effect sucks.
Wow.
It sucks. That finisher is not impressive. What is that? And half the time, it looks like he's going to fall over when he hits it. It's not. I've seen other folks do that a hell of a lot better.
I think Jericho should have a new finisher.
What's that? What are you
Eat
gonna
a
call-
hoagie sandwich.
Eat a hoagie and add to the handles I complained about last week.
No! I'm sorry. Love handles should be his finisher.
Love handles.
He hit him with the love handles.
Wait a minute.
It's the love handles.
Find another
Can you do
guy-
Jim Ross yelling love handles.
Good
love handles.
God, he hit him with I can't do Jim Ross right now. I'm exhausted. And I'm trying to remember the other joke.
God,
I
the
remember
love handle,
I
the
re-
love handle,
I re-
the love handle.
I remember the other joke. Now, since we're on a roll with getting tag teams that look like similar and coming up with great names, we're gonna find someone that looks like Jericho and we're gonna call them the Love Handles.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Wow.
The Love Handles versus Sloppy Seconds.
So let me ask you, do you think that...
Come
oh my
on,
God,
that's
dude.
a classic.
Jericho defeated Shawn Spears, Nick Gage, Juventud Guerrero, and then Wardlow. Let me ask you, do you think the order should have been different?
The order?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me what I thought of the four.
Give me both.
Okay. Well. Oh boy. As far as the the competition to get to MJF. Okay. Can I be serious?
Go ahead.
Okay. We got Shawn Spears. All right. All right. Next. Okay. That's my take on Shawn Spears and AEW. I'm yawning. Anyway, then we got Nick Gage, who, quite honestly, let's give him the credit it's due. This was the highlight of the matches.
Agreed.
It's not even close.
100%.
Nick Gage is helping to put, the
should have been the last. Shouldn't that have been the last one?
You know
Because then
what?
you could actually believe maybe Jericho loses.
Yes.
You're like, you knew Jericho wasn't losing to Wardlow.
Right. Totally agree. I think Nick Gage should have been the climactic finale to get to MJF. Then you got Hoovy. And again, we talked about the match with Hoovy. Look, it's like when we go to see the local matches and they bring back two dudes who we haven't seen in a long time.
Right.
You get what you get. I'm not going crazy so far for this list, except for Nick.
Gotcha.
I thought Nick did his thing.
But Hoovy was it had
Hoovy,
my interest.
Hoovy himself did fine. I'm not saying that, but look at the list. So far to me, the Nick Gage has got it.
Gotcha.
And then you got Wardlow. I'm sorry. What is it about Wardlow that does? I don't care how big he is. He does nothing for me.
He's not over.
Well, he does nothing for me.
I agree.
I mean, what?
I agree. He's
So-
Wardlow.
Yeah.
You know what he is?
Yeah.
He's Virgil incarnated. And you know
Wow.
what? Keep him as Virgil incarnated because
Very
that's what he
interesting.
is.
I never thought of it that way. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, I think Virgil was more likely to draw me in, though.
I'm not
Quite
gonna disagree
honestly,
with you there.
way
I'm not
more. How
disagreeing
about
with
way
you.
more likely?
Well, that's fine.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So as far as the order goes, yeah, I agree with you that it should have been Nick Gage. As far as the list overall, I'm not that impressed with this list.
Well, I'm really digging
Big
your take
deal.
on this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're really not
Sorry.
happy with This Week in Wrestling?
Apparently not. Apparently not. That's not good. They better rebound next week for episode 6. What's wrong with them? Pick it up, guys.
Well, Friday's episode of SmackDown drew an average of 2.4 million.
I'm pleased
viewers.
with that.
It's a great show.
Now,
Every
yeah,
week it's a
well,
great show.
There you go.
And why is it a great show? Because you probably got one of the greatest world champions in the history of world champions, in my opinion.
You have to be,
along with Paul Heyman.
You have to be referring to the great Roman Reigns.
Absolutely.
He's great. He is great.
Monday night's Raw drew an average of 1.7.
I'm actually
million.
pleased with these numbers this week, Mike. I am. This is good. Here I am. Wow, you think Lily helped push it up a couple of hundred thou?
You know what the scary
To
thing
buy
is?
the doll?
I keep trying to explain this to people.
Yeah, that's good.
In
They
my
did good.
real life,
For today.
I go to a lot of analytical places that they actually, companies hire these other companies to draw analytics. So when people are always complaining why is Mandy Rose on every show?
At 10:23.
Right.
At 10:23.
Or why is it Lily? Because guess what? The analytics are showing that people are
Right.
watching. Again,
I
there's a
understand.
lot of wrestling purists
got it.
out there that like you said, listen, guys, it's all about dollars and cents.
Yeah, it's about-
I don't even understand where the argument comes.
Right.
You know, again, we talked about NXT. We
Yeah.
love NXT.
They're consistent,
Right?
though, bro. It's always between 7 and 8.
They actually drew up. They got back to
Yeah.
USA Network. They got 751,000.
It's usually between
But here's
7
the
and 8.
problem, guys. The wrestling purists who love NXT, it's only drawn 751,000.
Right.
You claim, obviously, and you're right in a lot of ways. WWE doesn't push NXT
Absolutely
like
not.
they do. But the
I don't
reality
think
of it-
they're upset. I think they would like 1 million, but I think that they're like, okay, at least we're consistent with it. We know what it's going to deliver for
And
us.
again, anybody else, you go
Fine.
to a store, you buy an egg sandwich, you're going to keep going to that store. It's
If
just common, right?
if the food's good, you will.
Monday Night Raw has been on for a very long time, so people
Sure.
will just go turn on Monday Night Raw because
Right.
it's been part of their life for a long time.
Correct.
But there's also some credence to the fact that Lily winking
Right.
probably does better than
Buddy Murphy,
Buddy Murphy.
you're right. And that's the way it is. Because it is part entertainment. And that's the way it is.
And for all these AEW fans who love AEW, guess what? The results just came out. 979,000 views. So where you thought they were really making that challenge.
They were getting close, and guess what? After this week, they're almost halfway. It's almost you'd have to double their ratings to Ty Raw. So
because
so
their
there it is.
strategy is shock and deliver.
Right.
Shock and deliver.
And we
guess
know
what?
that doesn't sustain.
No, it doesn't. And your shock
Not
and
in the-
deliver isn't working.
Not in the long
and
haul.
the 5 labors of Jericho, it's worn itself out because you know what? No one wanted to see him against Wardlow.
That's right.
Moving Tote, I tuned in.
Right.
Gage, I tuned
Right.
in.
Right.
So again, poor planning.
Yep.
And you know what? Again, you can only shock people so much. You know, you've got in your chamber, in your gun, CM Punk. It's going to
Right.
be huge.
Yes.
Brian Danielson. Going to
Then
be huge.
then what?
You know, Big Show, by the way, is coming back too. Whoop-de-doo. Right? Shock wrestling only lasts for so long.
True.
And your champion, the collector of belts, you better take that belt off him, dude.
Why? Why him?
You need a real champion, dude. You need a Roman Reigns.
Ooh, that's rough.
You need a Roman Reigns.
I hear you.
When you think of world champions, do you think of him or do you think of Roman Reigns?
Well, I think of Roman Reigns as more a prototype for a world champion, if that's what you're asking. But I still look at Kenny Omega as a world champion because of my love for what he did in Japan.
As a pure wrestling fan, and again, Jimmy, I always put you over as probably one of the greatest intelligent pro wrestling fans out there.
Thank you. I try.
Does it turn you on the fact that Omega has all these belts and he's traveling from territory to territory and he's because remember back in the day, Harley Race used to wrestle Bob Backlund. Oh my God! Ric Flair used to wrestle Bob Backlund. Oh my God! Do you get the same feeling from him?
No, I do not, and I think he should just be concentrating on the AEW title, and the company should just be concentrating on getting the champion of their brand as over as possible. Taking side steps to go to Jack in the Box when you could be dining at a steakhouse is stupid. So I don't understand why they would want to give Impact Wrestling a rub. What the hell do you need? You're not going to get a rub back. What are you doing? You know, being charitable for the love of wrestling? Bullshit. Okay, I'm not buying that at all. So that's my take on that.
Well, this has been episode 5 of This Week in Wrestling. I hope you all enjoy SmackDown. I believe the go-home show before SummerSlam.
Yes, sir.
SummerSlam makes me sad because I know it's towards the end of the summer.
Yeah.
WrestleMania always marks the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
Or spring and summer.
Spring.
And WrestleMania's SummerSlam is always the end of the summer.
Yep.
So again, enjoy the go-home show. We thank you for joining us, and we hope we become part of your daily ritual before you turn on SmackDown on This Week in Wrestling. And always remember to watch Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty Nefaro, seen every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Nice. You've been watching This Week in Wrestling with Monty and the Pharaoh. Until next week for episode 6. Later.